Yep, so what I want to ask everyone to do is choose one audio source. So if you guys are listening on the computer and on the phone, mute one or the other. And also mute out your line if you're not talking, so we don't hear any audio distortion. So that goes for you also, David. If you're gonna talk on the phone, then I suggest muting out your computer. So we're now live. So if you want to take it away, Dave, go for it. You're loud and clear. You can go for it. And this is what I'll do. First off, so for everybody who's watching on the computer or also live, I want to definitely welcome you to the call. We're starting a few minutes late, but you know, audio difficulties always take place, especially when you're doing something new. So with all that being said, everybody who's on the line, this is what I also do. I also mute out the line. 1 second.
All callers are muted and they can unmute themselves.
Okay, great. So I want to welcome everyone to today's broadcast. Of course, my name is Ricardo Suber. I'm National Director in this business called 5Link. So you guys should be able to hear me if you're live on the conference call. And you should also be able to hear me and see me if you're on the computer. So just some instructions for everyone. Regardless of what you're doing, if you're watching on the computer, I suggest that you also listen through your speakers. And if you're live on the call, then you're live on the call, and you should be able to hear me clearly. So with that being said, without further ado, I'm going to actually, before we actually open up this particular training, this is going to be not only a quick start, but also a mastering the basics training. I'm going to bring someone to the line, of course, we all should know very well. This is a gentleman, of course, coming out of the Brooklyn, New York market. He, of course, loves having fun. He's the life of the party. Definitely, I don't think you could do any business unless there's some sort of fun attached to it. You know, he's making a lot of money in this opportunity. Just got the coveted BMW after reaching the position of Senior Vice President. He knows 100% of the information, and most importantly, he has a heart of gold, loves helping people. So without further ado, I'd like to ask Mr. Senior Vice President David the Motivator Farrell to come on the line. Please *6 and unmute yourself.
Yeah, can you hear me, Rico?
Loud and clear. Take the call away. It is yours.
Yeah, so first of all, I'd like to thank you, Ricardo Silver, for actually coming up with this training. We usually do these quick start calls every single Sunday, 6 p.m. Ricardo had a great idea. Let's do a webinar as well as a quick start, because sometimes we know people in front of their computer. Sometimes they're just listening in, and sometimes being able to see the visual will always help. So what we're going to be doing today, as he said, we're doing a quick start, WGI quick start, explain you that. Then we're going to run you through a couple specialized trainings. And depending on the feedback that we get from this, we're going to see if we're going to continue to roll with these kind of events. We're also going to be working on getting some business overview trainings, BOMs, or just, I guess, presentations right through this line. So we have a lot of great things. So we'd love to get the feedback, get back with me, one of your uplines, Jai, Ricardo Silver, Larry Christian, Kamisha Avila, Anita MDs, and EDs. Let them know what you guys think about this, and in the chat log, let us know what you think about this. If you need some help, or if you have any questions, or if any audio is distorted, let us know. So we'd like to help you. So with that being said, we have a lot of great things happening. Rico's going to tell you about the promos. If you know about the promos, they were all extended today. Rico will give you all the information on that. But you guys want to get it done, get to work, right? Another word to the wise, you guys are on the line. If you want to dance with your IMR, please, do not let it go to waste. Please go use it. If you're not going to use it, please let us know. We're going to be able to find somebody that can use it for you. So with that being said, I don't want to hold the line up too long. I'll give you guys a little bit of my story a little later. But I want to pass it back along to a gentleman I have a whole lot of respect for. He's an author, speaker. This guy's been very successful prior to this. This guy has a heart of gold, loves helping people. Like, there's a ball of fun, of course. Likes to have a lot of fun. He's always partying with us. And he's positioned right now to make a lot of money. So back again. We're going to pass the call back to National Director, Service Senior Vice President Ricardo Suba. He's back on the line.
I am back on the line. Thank you so much, Mr. Farrell. And I want to thank everyone for tuning in today. So once again, if you're just tuning in on the call, this is simultaneously, we're on this call and we're also doing a live broadcast on live stream. So just in case you want the live stream address again, it is at www.tinyurl.com/Sunday training. So again, tinyurl.com/Sunday training. And so what we're going to actually do is we're going to actually jump right into the quick start. So I would like to welcome all of our new partners, but even existing partners. You want to get this game plan to a point where you're actually starting to memorize this material. You're starting to really make sure you internalize this. Now I'm going to normalize my levels on this. All right, so you guys should be able to hear me loud and clear. And then also for everybody who's tuned into our chat online, please make sure that you leave your comments. If the audio or the video is a little bit messed up, just please feel free to leave some feedback because I'll be able to check in and I can view the chat as well. So what I'd like everybody to do, if you're at the computer, you should actually just be able to see the screen now. And I'm actually going to make sure that we have the correct size here. 1 second. Excuse all the icons on my desktop. I have quite a few. All right, here we go. Get this perfect for you. And this is the WGI game plan. So I would like for everybody to actually write down this website. I think everybody should be taking notes in terms of what we're covering this evening. So with that being said, the WGI game plan can be found at www.wgigameplan.com. Again, www.wgigameplan.com. And when you go to wgigameplan.com, you actually get what's right here in front of you, which is the Quick Start Plus. And we're actually, even before I jump into this information, the significance of this particular document is that it was developed by Double Platinum Senior Vice President C. Anthony Harris and Barry Donaldson. And they actually have about 70 to 75% of all the senior vice presidents and 5 links in their downline. And so what I'd like for all of you guys to just think about is the fact that every time we go over this document, this is the success manual. This is how they've instilled duplication in our organization. So once you guys really internalize all of the information in this material, you can teach it to your new team members and continue to grow your organizations as well. So with that being said, normally what we do is we start from page 3, which is right here. But I'm actually, since we're doing this webinar, we're actually going to start on page, let's see what page this is. We're actually going to start on page 6. Okay? Now, as you see right there in front of you, on page 6, it says choose your starting position. So you're going to choose the independent marketing representative level, which is for $249. All right? And you're going to also activate your 5 links virtual office services. Now, when you do that, you're either paying the $49.95 per month plan, or you're prepaying 6 months or a year in advance. That's going to give you 3 points, and that's how you're going to start off all of your brand new reps. The thing is, if you don't come in with this, if you select standard services, notice this is not part of the package. There's a reason for all of this. So you want to fully activate your business. Okay? And there's more information down here. So even when you're reviewing with your new reps, it's a good idea to have them fill in their information. Now, step 2, all right, is to become qualified and start earning money. Now, when you become qualified, the reason why we do that is because no money actually exchanges hands unless a customer is acquired. So you want to become your first and best customer, get a business line on what we have. We have Global Links, which actually houses either a DTA, a digital telephone adapter. You can get GSP10, or you can get a GMV app for your phone. We also have something called Global Links Mobi. All right, But all you want to do is you want to make sure you get on a premium plan, make sure you get on a qualifying plan, which will yield you 2 points. Keep in mind that a value plan will not qualify you, only a premium plan. All right, so premium plan, that'll get you 2 points, and you'll now become qualified along with platinum services. Now, this is a great customer point tracker. This is something that you also want to go through. So if you're in your first 30 to 60 days, make certain that you're keeping track of all of your points. You want to really get to 20 points, and we're going to go through why that is in a moment. All right, now as we scroll down, this actually reviews more details about our products and services, so keep that in mind. Step 3 is to schedule your 30-day game plan session with your upline executive. Now, whenever you got into this business or anybody comes to the business through you, you definitely want to have a game plan already set up. So then that way, you know what? You have a game plan with your new reps, and guess what? Now, when they eventually start bringing in new reps, they can also start to duplicate the system. So meet with them and then also download your own personal copy of this, which again can be found here at www.wgigameplan.com. Okay? Now step 4, you want to create your list of at least 50 names. Notice it says at least 50 names. You want to use the contact sheets provided in here, and you're going to list at least 25 potential customers and at least 25 potential business partners. Now as it says right here, I'm going to actually scroll in a little bit. When you are writing your list, you're going to divide them into 3 categories, or 2 columns, or 2 main categories. But your first category are customers. Customers are going to come in 3 different forms. You have your red apples, your green apples, and your rotten apples. Your red apples, these are people who are easy, they love you, they'll say yes. You want to spend 80% of your time with them because they're generally supportive. All right? Your green apples, these are people who have questions and they're willing to help, but they need more information. So you're going to only spend about 20% of your time with them, because a lot of times you can't tell if your green apples are really interested or they just don't know how to say no. So after about answering 3 questions, put them onto your website. Rotten apples, these are people who are negative and they will not support you. And I want to warn all of you, especially if you're new in this business, that we all have rotten apples. A little bit of mindset for you guys, that not everybody is going to see the vision of the business. They might have been scarred in the past, and that has absolutely no reflection on you. So if you come across a rotten apple, move on. If they're a rotten apple but they're a family member, still keep them as a family member, but in terms of this business, move on. Now, we also have potential partners. Partners come in reds, greens, and blues. Completely different category. Now, your reds, these are simply people that you look up to. All right? It says right here they have a hard work ethic, they understand business, and are open to multiple streams of income. So if you have a red, we're going to talk about how you approach that red, but basically keep that in mind. This is someone you look up to. Greens, these are your peers, people on your same level, people on your same wavelength, siblings, all right, for instance, co-workers. Now, they're in your same tax bracket, so they basically need more information to make a decision. And then you have your blues. These are people who look up to you. Now, they admire you, and they might even look up to you for advice. Usually, typically, your blues are found in people who are a little bit younger than you. All right? So now, moving on to step 5. One moment. Okay, and this is also some great information. This is a memory jogger to help you push your list. So let's just say you feel like you ran out of people. It's impossible to run out of people. Let me give you some statistics. They actually say that the average person knows 2,000 people on a first name basis who's at least the age of 25. So if you're at least 25, you should know of 2,000 people. We're only asking that you put a fraction of those on your list, but continue to expand your list, and this will help you out. It says things like who's dissatisfied with their job, who's unhappy with their income. So this game plan is something that you guys really want to know and understand and go through on your own. We also have some scripts here, all right, and we also have a list that will help you break down your customers, and some scripts that will help you out with business partners as well. We're going to be going through the baseball diamond in a little bit, But right now, step 5 says to triple your investment and become an executive trainer in your first 30 days. Once you acquire 10 customer points in your first 30 days, the company will pay you $100. 20 customer points, the company will pay you out another $400. Once you sponsor your 2 qualified IMRs, the company will pay you out another $250. And once you complete your training, the company will pay you out $750. So as you accomplish these tasks, what a good thing that you might want to do is just keep track of them here. All right? Now, step 6. Launch your 5 Links business with a grand opening. Notice that every business that you know of, from McDonald's to Panera Bread to a new salon to a new law office, they always have grand openings whenever they open a new location. Well, guess what? In this 5 Links business, you are your own brand new location. So you're going to launch with a grand opening. Now, all this simply means is that you're going to have an in-home presentation. Either one of us will actually come to your residence and do a presentation for your guests, or you'll simply pop in a DVD. We'll talk about this in more detail in a moment, but you want to have your first one in your first 5 to 7 days in business, and you want to have at least 3 in your first 30 days. I say if you're serious, have at least 5. Do at least 1 a week. All right? Because the thing is, your first grand opening, it might rain. All right? Up here in New York, it's rainy right now. A lot of people may not show up. So you're going to want to have another one. All right? And realize there might be a grand opening or 2 when no one shows up. So the thing is, you want to make sure you have multiple grand openings in your first 30 days. All right, you guys? And you want to actually have a list. Have a list of everybody that you've invited, include their phone number. All right? Now, step 7, as we scroll down here, step 7 is to attend all conference calls, webinars, and trainings. Now, all the information is listed here in terms of a lot of our WGI stuff. We have so many more conference calls that we like to plug you guys into. Excuse me. And so when you plug into these calls, basically the good thing about our particular team, our Senior Vice President Dave Farrell on down, what we like to do is we like to text all this information out to you so you guys have everything in a timely manner. But a great thing that you guys can actually do right now, just to make sure you're up on at least the team power calls, all right, which is Tupac Duranencourt's organization, which also includes all of us. You also want to text the word Team Power, all as one word, to the number 55469. So on your phone right now, you can text the word Team Power to the number 55469. All right. And actually down here, you also have webinars that you can plug your potential prospects into this business. So if you want to know when a live webinar is occurring, it's right here. All right. Step 8 is you want to register for and attend the next 5 Links International event. The next one's going to be in Orlando, Florida, September 18th to the 21st, as it says here. You guys, this is so important. All right. Now, if you at all are taking this business seriously, which I hope you guys all are, then this is something that you don't want to miss. You can't afford to miss. They actually said that you're not officially in 5 Links until 5 Links is officially in you. And that's what happens at the national event. All the information on the event is here. And get with your upline if you have any questions in terms of travel and the like. All right. Don't wait till the last minute. Get this done. We're all going to be there. You need to be too. Okay. Now, step 9, and here's the registration form. Now, step 9 is suggested advanced leadership training. Once again, you guys, I suggest going to these advanced leadership trainings, but make sure that you have your nationals taken care of first. Make sure your nationals plans are squared away, that your money is set aside, and then you want to make sure you invest in all of the advanced leadership. Now, the next Train the Trainer workshop, all right, all the information on that is at this website, www.mmgttt.com. You also want to attend the next SVP in a Year bootcamp. So that's at www.svpinayear.com. And you also want to become energy certified. Very important, because even if you're not in an energy state, all right, let's say you're not in a state that offers energy. Let's just say you happen to recruit someone in New York or Maryland or Pennsylvania or Georgia or any one of these energy deregulated states. Let's say they build a huge team and someone closes an energy deal. People are closing all sorts of energy deals. You won't get paid 1 penny on what they bring in. So The thing is, if you're not energy certified now, get energy certified as soon as possible. It's a one-time fee of $45. And again, all the information is in your virtual office. Now, step 10. Last but not least, you want to become familiar with your virtual office and website. Okay? So in order to do that, you want to log into your 5links representative website at 5links.net/your RIN number. You're going to click on Rep Login, enter your RIN number and password. Once you're in your virtual office, you're going to click on My Profile, click on Reports, make sure your personal customer reports are active. You're also going to click on News, 5links TV, and Events to stay up to date. You're going to begin and complete your 5links University training. You guys, this is so important. Too many of us have come onto this business and we took a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks to do our 5links University training. I understand what that's like. Sometimes life happens, but if you're serious about this business, you're going to get your training out of the way in your first 3 days, 3 to 4 days at most. So if you're on this line, if you haven't completed at least through ND, I say if you're serious, do through PSVP. Get it done as soon as possible, because I promise you, this whole business will make much more sense to you. It's not like this is curriculum like in school. I know a lot of us hear of university and school, anything having to do with academics, and we think about taking classes that we don't need. These are classes that we need and that are going to build your business. They talk about how to do an effective PBR, how to do effective presentations, how to talk to people in the correct language. And the way to really understand that is to complete and understand your 5links University and do it as soon as possible. Last but not least, you're going to do this daily. You're going to become familiar with everything in your virtual office. So with that being said, I'm going to actually bring the camera back over to me. Give me 1 second, and for those of you guys hanging on the line, give me 1 moment. So hopefully you guys can see me now. And what I'm actually going to do now is I'm going to change screens. We're going to actually go through our promos. And I'm a little bit, I think there's a little bit of lag because I actually had to switch to my laptop because the desktop was going a little slow. But we're going to actually review the promos that are going on right now. So for all of you guys, if you'd like to follow along with the promos, let's just say you're not near a computer. And even if you guys have a smartphone, you guys can actually probably see me through your smartphone. This live stream is pretty cool. And if you have a pretty good connection, you might even be able to follow along on your smartphone. And again, for all of those on the line, that web address is www.tinyurl.com/Sunday training. Okay, so we have the promos up in front of us. Give me 1 second. I'm going to get the screen right. And again, if you guys are in the chat room, feel free to chat back. And just let me know. Just say hi. Say hi. Say I can hear you clearly. I can see you clearly. And we're going to jump into the promos. Here we go. Let me get this screen right. All right. Thank you, David. I see you in the chat room. So we have the promos up in front of us. And I'm going to perfect this. All right. And as I get this screen straight, because this is not a perfect science, but as I get this screen straight, I think just to kind of give you guys a perspective as to the reason why we went ahead and decided to do this, because we have partners from all over the country. We have partners who are plugging in from everywhere, and I felt that this was a great way to kind of close the gap. We have partners in over 23 states now, so this is very, very important. Now, for our promos, okay? Thank you very much, David. All right, so for our promos, first promo that we're going to discuss, again, you can get all this information at, if you text the word promos to 55469. All right, first promo is this actual promo, which actually ends tonight at midnight. Anybody you have on the fence, you want to get them and let them know that they can get up to $3,000 in their first 30 days. 2 and 10 will actually yield $800. All right. 3 and 15, 3 business partners and 15 points will yield a new rep $1,500. All right. 4 reps and 20 points will actually yield $2,000. And if you get 5 business partners and 25 points, the company will pay you out $3,000. All the information, all the details are here, like it says right there. All right. Now also, you can get an extra point on these particular products. So I'm going to kind of skip down to where it says that is. Now, you get an extra point on Enhanced Care MD. That's now worth 2 points. That's until midnight. Also, Mobi Wireless, you can get 2 to 3 points depending on the plan up until midnight. And if you happen to be in an American Powers Partners territory, all right, or if you're actually in any one of these other energy areas for our Maryland partners, BG&E or Pepco, or in Pennsylvania, if you're in the Duquesne, I think that's pronounced Duquesne area, Pepco, or PPL, you can actually get double points. So I want all of you guys to understand and know your particular promos. Now, also ND, ED, ND, and SVP open line. You can get more information in your virtual office. Those are extended until midnight tonight. You also have your Free with 4 promotion, which actually is through the end of the year, through December 1st, where representatives who have their own Business Elite account and have at least 4 active text alerts customers will earn a free month of service on their Business Elite Services account. So you can get more information there. And you also have a USG&E. All right, residential customers who enroll in USG&E variable price natural gas program during the month of June will receive their first month's natural gas supply charge free after 6 months of service. And so you can get more information on that. Those are the main promos, but we actually have 2 more. We also have the security promo. 5-Link Security Protect America now offering $250 bounty payout. And also we have a $500 gift card from 5Links Payment Solutions. Again, all the information is in your virtual office. That's why we always say, hey, look, know and understand your virtual office. It's really going to help you out in this business. So what we're actually going to do, you guys, we're going to take a quick moment. I actually want to show you guys something very, very important as we dive into customer acquisition training. If you happen to be watching this at home, or if you're listening on the phone, I highly suggest that you take some notes. If you're driving, don't take notes. But if you're watching this, if you're sitting down, I'm going to give you guys a moment to grab some paper and a pen, because that's how important this is. I actually went to a BOM out here in New York, and they actually did a training on customer acquisition, this very same training, and I learned so much. Again, even though I've seen it many times, I've learned so much, and I actually took training on my own. I actually took notes on my own. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to play a quick video. This is actually done by Double Platinum Senior Vice President Steve Carter. While the video plays, I'm going to grab something to drink. And while I grab something to drink, I want you guys to grab a piece of paper and a pen. And let me go ahead and find this video. One second. And again, you guys, the importance of this video and what we're about to go through is that a true reflection, if you really want this business to provide you and your family longevity, this goes for all of our new partners as well. The true reflection of this business is in your residual income. And your residual income is reflected in how many customers fall into your book of business. And the way you get the most customers, a lot of times people say, well, why is there such an emphasis on recruitment in this industry? And the reason why is because the more people you recruit, the wider your customer base, because every person that you recruit is a source for additional customers. It's almost like if you opened up your own restaurant. Well, if you had one location and you wanted to make a lot of money, you only can make so much money because you only have one location. You can only service a certain amount of customers. But if you happen to open multiple locations of that same franchise in multiple states, let's say now you have 500 locations, now every single customer that comes to a restaurant that you happen to own in any one of those states, that's a customer that you're now also able to profit on. So with that being said, you guys, I'm going to go ahead and play this clip by Steve Carter. This is only a 2-minute clip. I'm going to come right back with customer acquisition training. Get something to write with. I'm going to be right back. Enjoy this clip. Now, for those of you guys who are on the phone, yep, you guys will be able to hear this too. Okay, so enjoy this clip.
Everybody, get this in perspective. Build this from the standpoint that your residuals are the truest reflection of what you've built. So if you've got a $5,000 residual, guess what? That means you've got 60 grand coming in your household in that year, regardless of who came in your business that month. Regardless of who got a customer. I want everybody to get that. So don't get caught up on you made X amount that month. Because if it's 90% bonuses, you got to do it again, which is nothing wrong with that, but just understand that. So I want you to start realizing that when you can get to a level like we've been blessed to have accomplished, where you've got multiple tens of thousands that are going to hit your account, if nobody got in, that's when you can honestly say you've built a significant business. Because I can tell you right now, when I look at the fact that on a monthly basis, we're blessed to earn what usually takes most people a year to earn. That in itself is powerful, yes or yes? But it's 20 times more powerful when that income comes no matter what we do. Think about that right now. Somebody that makes X amount of dollars in a month that takes someone else a year to make. That in itself is impressive. But when the person making that amount in a month doesn't have to get out of the bed and the income still comes, it puts that person on a higher level in business. So I want everybody to realize those people that are making good money, they're professionals, they have big businesses, or they run corporate America, big titles. I'm telling you right now, a lot of times that is nowhere near what you have your hands on. Doesn't mean we're going to discount what they've done. Doesn't mean we're going to de-edify who they are in their profession. But I want you to understand what you've got. I don't care if it's $2 grand a month. If you got a $2,000 residual, that's a whole lot different from making $2,000 with a second job. Am I right? So I want you to understand that.
All right, you guys. So I hope you guys enjoyed that clip. Again, that was Double Platinum Senior Vice President Steve Carter talking about the importance of building a long-lasting residual income. So with that being said, you guys, I'm going to actually jump into the customer acquisition training. Dave actually asked me to go ahead and show the Soaring Eagle Award. So now, for all of our new partners, if you don't know exactly what it is, we have actually multiple awards. Here's one. And this is called the Rising Star Award. And so this is an award at every national event. This is the importance of nationals as well. I'm kind of leaning in because the mic is like right here. But the importance of every national event is that we actually have a ton of events. There's a lot of camaraderie. You get to meet business partners from all over the country and the world, including people from our own team. And what we have every Friday of every Nationals in the evening, we have something called the WGI Rally. And that's a rally where we all get together. We celebrate the successes of our team. And for those folks who are really coming into their own, really showing some leadership, there's one particular award called the Rising Star Award. And this is an award that we actually got earlier this year. And multiple people on the team have received this award. Everton Welch. I know I'm going to forget someone. Jamel Driver, I believe Marsha Giddy, Mr. Larry Christian. So many of us have received this award. And this award, every single award that we get, I want to actually absolutely make this clear. These are all team awards. And I want to dedicate this to our particular team, but I also want to let each and every one of you guys know that you're also all a part of Mr. Motivator's team, who also received a Rising Star Award very early on in his business as well. So this is one particular award, and then the other award, I would put it back there, but it'll probably fall. So the other award is the Soaring Eagle Award. And the Soaring Eagle Award, a larger award. It's very heavy, but this is given to folks who are on the brink of senior vice president. And so again, these are team awards. So I want to make it clear that, you know, if it wasn't for our phenomenal team and really for all of you for, of course, helping our entire team hit senior vice president through Mr. Dave Motivator Farrell, and for us about to hit senior vice president again with myself, Mr. Driver, Mr. Everton Welsh, Ms. Kanisha Avila, and all of our up-and-coming leaders. This all cannot be done without a team effort. So I want to thank all of you guys and want to invite all of you guys to push, because pretty soon there'll be a day where you get your rising star, your soaring eagle, and when you cross the stage as an SVP. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and jump into customer acquisition. And as this thing is loading up, want to let all of our new partners know and all of our existing partners know that this is extremely important. Customers and getting customers is the lifeblood of the business. As a matter of fact, while this thing is loading, because this is a little slow, I want all of you guys to also understand that in this business, a lot of it is going to seem very counterintuitive. A lot of times when we do have new partners, and this was no different from Dave or myself, that first month or those first couple of months, even your first 3 months, a lot of it might seem a little confusing because we're following a system. And this is a system very different from traditional business. If you guys have ever been traditional business owners, generally speaking, you're kind of doing it on your own. But in a business like this, you're basically a part of a system. You're part of a franchise. You're part of something where, you know, it's already been figured out. You don't need to figure out, okay, well, how should my flyers look, so to speak, or how should the presentation look, or maybe I should do something a little bit different. No, the system's already been figured out. So to the extent that you follow what is being given to you is to the extent at which you'll achieve success. Not to say that if you do everything perfectly that you're going to earn $1 million in your first 30 days. No. But to your ability to follow the steps, to do at least 4 PBRs per month, no matter what month you are in your business, your ability to knock out your first 20 to 25 customer points, that lets us know, and that should also be a reflection of how much you follow the system. If you've been in this business for over a year or two and you don't even have 10 customer points, I say this respectfully, but you're not following the system. So your ability to really understand the fundamentals, and not only understand it, but get it to a point where your behavior is being replicated downline, that's when you begin to build a significant business, like Mr. Steve Carter had said in that clip. So with that being said, we're jumping right into customer acquisition and retention. Now, as you guys already should know, that customer acquisition is really a result of 2 things. Now, it is acquiring customers, and it's also about retaining customers. Okay, I'm gonna get these pages right. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna see if I can snap this to a page. I might not be able to, but anyway, the first thing that you want to do in customer acquisition and retention is you want to make a list. Okay, now if you remember in the quick start, we said make a list. The reason why we say make a list is because that's what 5 Links tells us to do, and it works. There's something about putting something on paper, not in your head, not in the phone, but on paper. When you put something down, it really makes a difference. Somehow things just come together. So you're going to make an inventory of potential partners, potential customers, family and friends, organizations, recreational activities, school associates, people you do business with, people who owe you, and people who love you. And I promise you, you guys, you're going to have to create and recreate your list on a monthly basis. I add to my list probably once a week. I'll add anywhere from 10 to 20 names per week. And these are just people I haven't thought of, maybe people I might have met. So if you have a list, but let's just say you have not touched it in a week or two, or in a month or two, or ever, it is time to redraw your list. A good day to do it is maybe on a Sunday evening. And look what day it is, all right? So that being said, You're going to make that list, and you're going to constantly add to your list. Now, as we discussed in our quick start, you want to take immediate action. If you're in your first 30 days, you want to propel your business into greatness. You want to get your 20 customer points ASAP. This is going to get you $500, all right? So let's go ahead and create your success story. And remember that this is your business, and you don't want to wait for someone to do it for you, all right? This is about leadership, all right? So you want to lead by example, okay? Now, when you get started in this business, and if you don't have your 20 customer points and you want to relaunch your business, then this is what you want to keep in mind. One second. Straighten out this slide. All right. You want to become your first customer. You want to become your first and your best customer in your business. And when you become your first customer, you're going to, guess what? It's going to help familiarize yourself with all the services. How are you going to ask someone to get on a service if you don't have it on your own? Right? So you want to be a personal testimonial for each service. And again, why sell a service you're not willing to use for yourself? You can't go up to a Bentley dealership. Let's say you own a Bentley dealership, and let's say you're driving there in a Maserati. Now, a Maserati is a great car, but that's not a Bentley. So how are you going to be a great salesperson if you can't be a personal testimonial for what you're selling? So every product and service out of your home, if possible, you want to get on your own service. And if you don't, which it is your choice, but you're handicapping yourself in your business. Personal example, when I got into this business, I had Verizon Fios. I had super fast internet. I had just gotten Verizon Fios. Let me tell you, my internet was so fast, I could download the world in 60 seconds, all right? But the bottom line is, when I got in 5 links, now at the time that I got in, which was in 2011, in my area, we only had Earthlink. And Earthlink, at best, had a slow speed. But what I did was, I got on it because it just made sense. All right? So I got on Earthlink, it made sense, and I was getting paid on it. And then now, you know what? Guess what? Now we have Verizon Fios again. And we also have Time Warner, and I ended up switching to Time Warner. Okay? But I got that all through my website. So you want to support your own business. Now, the thing is, when you get a customer, how are you going to get a customer? I know some of you guys, if you've been in this business for a while, let's just say your business is struggling a little bit. Well, remember what it says in this slide. When you speak to people, you want to speak with excitement. And you want to have a sense of urgency, because you want to understand that this is residual income for the rest of your life. So ignorance on fire will always outperform knowledge on ice. So if you say to someone, and we're actually going to talk about scripts in a moment, but an example of speaking with excitement is you can simply just go to someone and say, hey, look, you know what? I just got started in business and I could really use your help. You know what? I'm just so excited, but look, I have this bonus. Look, that's part of excitement, right? And then here's what urgency is. Urgency is saying, hey, look, I'm up for a bonus. It just ends in a couple of days. I could really use your help. Could you please help me out? How soon can we get together? That's urgency. So if you combine excitement and urgency, you know what? This is really going to work for you. All right. Now, remember, we talked about this a little bit in the quick start, but the Apple system, these are your customers. Customers are referred to as apples. You have your reds, greens, and rottens. So your red apples, these are people who are easily approachable and are easygoing. Okay. Now, these are people, again, who love you. They usually say yes. They're very supportive, and you want to spend 80% of your time here. You're going to get your red apples out of the way, because this is how you're going to get your points up. All right. And again, you guys, you're going to have to open your mouths. So when it comes to, know how they say closed mouth doesn't get fed? Same thing in this business. If you've only talked to 3 people, 2 of them said, well, I don't really know. Well, look, you're not really doing the business. You want to approach the people who are your red apples first. Spend 80% of your time here. Okay. Now, your green apples. These are people who have questions and are willing to help, but need more information. Now, again, you want to answer 3 questions and determine if the customer is serious or wasting your time. All right. Now, once you've answered 3 questions, let's just say you say, hey, great, can you be a customer of mine? A great technique is to actually schedule an appointment and actually sit down with them. If you schedule an appointment and sit down with them, that's far more effective than just giving them your website. Okay? So if you can schedule a time to sit with them or even schedule a time to be on the phone with them, then you could say, hey, look, could you please do me a favor, help me out? I'd really appreciate it. If they agree, set up an appointment. All right? But spend 20% of your time with the green apples because, again, if they're asking you a bunch of questions, you can't really tell if they're serious or not. Just remember, keep your time with them kind of sparing. And when they ask more than 3 questions, put them onto your website. Now, with your rotten apples, again, these are dream stealers. These are people who basically are going to look at, just even the idea of you being in business. They may not like it. They might be jealous. It has no reflection on you. So spend 0% of your time with them. And I want you guys to remember this, okay? Some will, some won't. So what? Call the next red apple. All right? Remember that some will be your customer and some won't be your customer, and so what? And I want to ask you, well, not even ask you guys because I can't hear you, but wherever you guys are watching this right now, or if you're tuned in on the phone, I want you guys to think about this, that the motto of some will actually came from Sprint. Now, in the mid-'80s, when they deregulated long distance, and Sprint was a brand new company, all right? Now, I want you guys to understand that back in the mid-'80s, AT&T was a powerhouse. All of those Bell companies, that was all AT&T, all right? Then when Sprint and MCI came into the picture, Sprint was just going after some customers. MCI was just going after some of AT&T's customers, but AT&T still kept a lot of their customer base. But do you think Sprint said, we're going to convert every single person to a Sprint customer? No. Do you think McDonald's is upset about Burger King? Absolutely not. And Sprint's actual motto in the mid-'80s was that some will become a customer. Do you think Verizon is mad about Sprint Wireless? No, because they know that some will become a customer. So in your business, ladies and gents, you want to understand that some people will become your customer. You just have to go through your apples. All right? So now, the next thing that we have is something called power hours. Every leader on the line, and every up-and-coming leader, but every leader on the line, if you have at least one person in your team, you need to know what a power hour is, and you want to have them with your team. Now, all a power hour simply is you guys might get together, all right? And you guys simply call and see how many customers you could get in an hour. And then maybe as your team leader, maybe you can come up with a prize, maybe an award, maybe recognition, maybe a free dollar meal, whatever your budget might be, but come up with a prize. But a power hour, it simply produces volume and it creates a winning environment. So wherever you are on your team, I don't care if you have one person or 50 people on your team, you want to have power hours, okay? Now, when getting a customer, so important, you guys. Remember emotion versus logic. Now, you want to always get a customer on emotion over logic. Why? Well, because here's the thing. If you guys have ever been in advertising and sales, I've done a little, well, I haven't even done a little bit of it, but I've studied it. Now, in advertising and sales, a lot of it, if you guys don't know this, yes or no, but a lot of advertising and sales has to do with emotion. They want to evoke emotion because they know people don't buy based on logic. For the most part, people buy based on emotion, okay? People buy what makes them feel good. I'll give you a quick example. This is actually an example that I heard from Double Platinum Senior Vice President Pasha Carter, all right? And she actually gave this example. She said, now, when you typically go to a car dealership, okay, and you're trying to buy a new car, or let's just say you go to a dealership, and let's just say you know that you can only afford $3,000, and you're only looking for a used car. You go to that dealership, it's a very skilled salesperson. This is what they'll do. You go to that dealership, and that salesperson, let's just say, once you get to that dealership, the very first thing you say, look, my budget is $3,000. I just want an old Cutlass, and that's going to be my car. That's it. All right? What that skilled salesperson will do, they'll actually say, okay, no problem. They'll just nod your head. They'll just nod their head, and then they'll walk you right past that old Cutlass, and they'll walk you right back to that brand new car, or at least a newer car, probably out of your budget. All right, there'll be no price tag around, and they'll just say, hey, just sit in it. Just sit in the car. And you sit down in that car, and pretty soon you're going to smell the brand new leather. You're going to look at all the brand new gadgets, and they'll just say, how do you feel? And you'll say, you know what, in the back of your mind, you'll be saying to yourself, man, I really want this one. And you'll start thinking of ways of how you can come up with that extra money. And it's almost the same concept that you want to carry over into your business. You don't want to say, hey, I think I could save you money. Now, that's great. But what's really going to get people is the emotion side of your business, the emotion side of being a customer. So you want to acquire your customers using emotion. You want to offer your services from the heart and establish a sense of loyalty. So if you're taking notes, if you're just only able to listen in, if you're taking notes, you want to write down these 3 words. You want to write down favor, help, and try. Favor, help, and try. Now, your basic script in terms of using a customer or getting a customer, is I need a huge favor. I could really use a huge favor. Could you please help me out and try one of my services? I'm going to give you guys some examples. Once again, I still use this. I say, hey, look, I'm up for a bonus. Now, here's the thing, you guys. We're always up for a bonus, okay? Because we have the 100 customer club, we have the 200 customer club, we have all these different bonuses that we can get based on acquiring customers. So ladies and gents, you're always up for a bonus. New reps, you're up for a quick start bonus, all right? Now, the thing is, you could say, hey, look, I need a huge favor. I'm up for a bonus, all right? And I could really use a customer by Friday. All right, so could you please help me out and try one of my services? Now, by evoking that sort of emotion, if you say to someone, hey, look, I could use a favor, they're going to say, oh, well, what is it? You know, because now you're engaging them. You could say, look, I really need your help. I really could use your help. I'm brand new in this business. You know what I mean? And I just need could you please try one of my services? And if they say, well, what service is it? What is it? At that point, once they agree or might be looking into what you want, that's when you schedule an appointment. Don't get into this whole back and forth and trying to explain it. Now, you could kind of give them an overview, but your goal is to get them in front of the computer, in front of the information with you so that you can actually guide them toward being a customer. If you get into this whole thing where you're trying to kind of close the sale without them even seeing your website, that's not going to be easy. The easiest thing is to actually get them and engage them and put them in front of the information with you right there live in front of them. Even if it's over the phone, this all still works. Okay? Now, when you acquire customers, all right, you want to approach customers using a script like we just said, and you want to sort for your red apples. Again, red apples, people you want to spend 80% of your time with who are very, very supportive. You want to complete the enrollment with your customer online. All right, if there's an LOA, then you want to do that with your customer. And for most of our products and services, there is no LOA, but you want to just definitely complete the enrollment with them. And you want to check the status in your virtual office once that product is ordered. You can actually see that on your personal customer report. And you also want to ask for referrals. All right, now when retaining customers, always realize that it's easier to keep a customer than to get new ones. So once you get a customer, all right, always remind them the fact that, you know what, thank you so much for becoming my customer, okay? Little things like little thank you cards, holiday cards, all that stuff is great. So if you've acquired a customer, if you haven't been in touch with them, you could just let them know, hey, you know what, first off, I really appreciate you being my customer. How do you enjoy the service? You know, and then you can also say, hey, well, are there any other services I could help that might benefit you? You know, we have this brand new healthcare. Now, for instance, with my sister, all right, who I believe is a little bit underinsured, she's looking into healthcare, all right, and she's also my energy customer, okay? So that came as a result of a follow-up, and that's what you guys definitely want to do. And also, like we just said, it's always easier to keep a customer than to get a brand new one. All right, and last but not least, the goal is to become Platinum Senior Vice President qualified. All right, 1 second to get the slides to catch up. You want to become PSVP let me see. You want to get PSVP qualified, get 25 personal customers to get qualified for PSVP. Okay, so once you knock that out, now your whole focus is on recruitment. But then, if you're an overachiever, I highly suggest try to get into the 100 customer club, because the 100 customer club pays you a monthly dividend based on all the customers company-wide. So you could be getting anywhere from an extra $100 to $300 per month for being in the 100 customer club. And then once you hit the 200 customer club, now you could be earning anywhere from $1,000 to $2,000, all right, every single month. And that's on top of everything else that you're getting in this business. So if you're trying to really find ways to increase how much money you're earning on a monthly basis in 5 links, get into the 100 or 200 customer club. Now, personally speaking, I have about 140 something customer points, and I have about almost 200 pending. All right, and we have many more that are about to enter the books, because I'm also serious about really increasing my income. I highly suggest that you do what it takes to really master customer acquisition and then teaching it to your teams. All right, all of your motivated partners, if you have 30 points, make sure everybody on your team has 30 points or more. All right, so with that being said, we're actually going to just jump right into PBRs. Okay. And before I actually make that jump, 1 second. So we want to go quickly, but we don't want to. Okay, here we go. Here we go. 1 second. Actually, bringing back the screen to me. All right. So we're going to actually jump into PBRs next, and to discuss how a PBR should go. Now, on the team, we have a lot of great PBRs that are happening. And for fear of missing someone, I don't want to single anyone out, but we have a lot of great PBRs going on in all different markets, in the Northeast, in the Midwest, in the South. Even in the West, we have a few team members sprinkled in here and there. We have a lot of PBRs going on. If you aren't doing a PBR, that is a problem. So you definitely want to really get serious about your business and really do PBRs. Now, PBRs are very, very important because, look, it gives everybody the sense that they can do it too, because all you're simply doing is inviting people and getting them in front of the information. All right, so this is loading up. Give me 1 moment. And again, if you guys are in the chat, you guys can actually hit the login button. You could choose a screen name. You don't have to choose a password, and you can just type. So if you guys have any comments, any questions, you can ask then. We'll also open up the line for questions at the end of the call. All right. So make sure you jot those questions down. Give me 1 second. We're actually loading the PBR presentation. All right. So that's coming up right now. All right, fantastic. So it's about to come up. Here we go. All right. Private business receptions. Very, very important, very key aspect of your business. All right. So now, PBR. Without further ado, why have a PBR? Every business has a grand opening. Okay? Every business has a grand opening, and it introduces your warm market to your business. It allows you to obtain new business partners and customers, all right? And it's the fastest way to achieve your $750 bonus, all right? And it also creates your success story. Every new IMR has a PBR, and it creates momentum. So when should you have your PBR? It says schedule your first PBR 7 to 10 days from the new IMR start date. I say if you're serious, do it in your first 5 to 7 days, all right? Where should the PBR be held? Now, the thing is, your first choice should always be in the new rep's house. This is probably one of the most common questions. Why should I have it in my home? How come I can't do it like in a restaurant? How come I can't do a PBR in a hotel? All right, it's always preferable to have a PBR in the new rep's house because, look, you want to give that rep and also all of the guests, really the PBR is for the guests, and you want to let all the guests know that it's duplicatable and that they can also do it. Okay, so you want to also you always want to aim to have it in the new rep's house. Let's just say the new rep's house is very small. Let's say the new rep has a home where, you know what, everything's super small. The bed is next to the refrigerator, is next to the closet, is next to the door. Everything is all in one room. All right, and we've seen all kinds of PBRs. We've done PBRs in all sorts of environments. That is still the ideal place. Well, why is it? Why if you only have one chair? What if you have no furniture? What if you only do have one chair? All right, and I say this seriously because we've done a PBR where there was only one chair in the room. Okay, you want to tell all of your guests, make sure you get here earlier because there's only one chair. So if your home is very modest, if it's very humble, then that's why you want to have it, because you want all of your new partners or your potential partners, your prospects, when they see that it's being done in such a let's just say a humble environment, you want them to be able to understand that no matter what their environment is, they can do the same thing, because you never know who you're presenting to. Okay, so that's always the preferable place to have a PBR, in the new rep's house. Next choice might be an office. Okay, next choice may be a hotel or a restaurant. I always say first choice, bar none, is in the new rep's house. If it's not in the new rep's house, then at least have it at someone else's home who might agree to have your PBR, but it should be done in a home environment. Now, when you invite, you want to utilize a script and maybe a 2-minute peak call. So you could just basically say, hey, look, I'm excited in business. I'm just so excited. Again, you're going to use excitement and urgency. I'm excited about this business. I've always respected you. You've always been someone that I've respected. That would be maybe the language that you'd give to a red. Or you could just say, hey, look, when I saw this, I took a look at something and I thought of you. I want you to check this out. That's how you might want to invite someone. All right. Or if it's a blue, you say, hey, look, I'm getting into business. You know what? You need to come see this. All right. Now, the thing is, you want to tell them. You don't want to ask them. You want to say you need to be there. All right. And again, you want to use a 2-minute peak call. All right. And we actually sent all of those out through text. And if anybody needs those numbers, just make sure you remind us at the end of the call or ask in the chat room. All right. Also, you want to send a professional invitation to all guests. And you guys can even use a system called Evite. Evite is actually online. But the main thing is that as you invite everyone, you want to keep track of who's saying yes, keep a list of everybody's name and number. Now, here's what you want to do. You want to invite at least 30 to 40 people. Why so many people? What if you know your place can only hold 10 people? What if you know your place can only hold 5 people? How many are you going to invite? 30 to 40. Why do you invite so many people, Ricardo, you might be asking? Well, the reason why you invite so many people is because how many do you think are actually going to show up? Are 30 to 40 going to show up? Absolutely not. As a matter of fact, they say, here's how the numbers usually go. Let's just say you invite 30 people. If you invite 30 people, 10 are going to show up. Promise you. Always happens. Invite 30, about a third are going to show up. Of the 10 who show up, 3 will be interested. Of the 3 who show up, 1 will get started. That is what's called normal, okay? So invite 30 to 40 people to your first PBR, and every PBR that you can, invite as many as possible, no matter what size your place is, all right? And let's just say you get a lot of people and they can't squeeze in. Well, guess what? That's what we call a high quality problem. If people can't even see the information because there's so many people, let's just say the last person, they come in and the door hits someone in the back because there's just that many people. That means it's going to elevate the information that's being presented. And everybody's going to say to themselves, wow, what's going on in here? You know what I mean? And people are more apt to get started because that also creates a winning environment. All guests need to be confirmed by someone else on the team 12 to 24 hours prior to the PBR. Now, it also says here with the new IMR on the phone to kind of understand how confirmations go. But the main thing is that all guests are confirmed by someone else on the team. Reason being is because, guess what? You might invite them, but if someone else invites that guest, they're going to be more likely to show up because now they feel like, well, I really need to be there because someone else is expecting me. You know, human nature is funny, and sometimes you can tell someone something, but they really elevate the information once they hear it again from someone that they don't know. So make sure that all of your guests are confirmed by someone else on the team. Expect 60% of confirmed guests to attend. All right, so let's just say out of the 30 you invite, all of them are called, but guess what? All of them are called. Let's just say 10. Let's just say out of all of them that are called, 60% may come, but it might be even a little bit less than that. All right. So, and again, you want to know who the Reds are before arriving at the PBR. Now, the setup, basically have your magazines and everything laid out. You want to have finger foods, chips, pretzels, and soda. You do not want to have all this expensive food out there. We've gone to PBRs with their expensive platters. Some of you guys know who you are. But see, this is a learning experience, but that's why we do this training. All right. You want to keep it simple. No catering, no cakes, nothing that requires anything beyond maybe spending $5 or $10 at the store. Get cheap juice, maybe bottled water, and get chips and finger foods. Nothing more. Reason being is because you don't want to impress people. You want people to understand that they can do it. And if, let's just say you have someone like me at a PBR, and let's just say I can't cook. Let's just say I don't have any money. Let's just say my money is bare minimum. If they go to a PBR and they're walking in and there's all these expensive dishes and everything and things are laid out, they're going to love it. However, they will not join your business. Why? Because they're going to say, I can't do this. I love it, but I can't. If I start in my own 5 Links business, I'm not going to be able to lay out all of these things like Mary did or all of these things like Joe did. You know what? So I can't get started, okay? So again, in your setup, you're going to put out fewer chairs than you expect to need. Put out fewer chairs, okay? And you want to cool the room for comfort, and you want to start on time. Now that's important because let's just say you have a PBR, let's just say it starts at 7. Okay? Now most people, of course, if you start something at 7, they'll probably show up at 7:15. But let's just say most of your people are there at 7:15, but you're waiting for one more person. Let's just say you even think that that person might be a red. Okay? Someone who might just really change your business. You still want to start on time. You don't want to be holding up everybody who came on time just for those 1 or 2 people who are running late. You want to make sure you keep the chairs near the entrance empty so that the people who are late, they don't disrupt the presentation. Okay? But you do want to try to start on time and not let other people or not let the other people be penalized. Okay? And you want to keep the meeting under an hour. Okay? Keep it brief. It's called a briefing for a reason. There's no reason to do all this extra stuff. All right? And we're going to talk about how to do it on your own as well. But the thing is, whether someone is presenting or whether you're popping in a DVD, that hour is so important. Keep it under an hour. Okay? The presentation, here's how a presentation goes. The new rep shares their story and they introduce the guest speaker. When the new rep shares their story, spend no more than 2 to 3 minutes. New rep gets up, says, hey, how you doing? Welcome to my PBR tonight. And you know what? I got into this business because I was just so excited. I was so excited that I got into this business. And you know what? It was just introduced to me at a time in my life when I really needed some extra income. So with all that being said, I want everybody to introduce themselves. If there's not too many people, you can have people introduce themselves, their name, and their occupation. So all the guests will introduce themselves, all right, what they currently do for a living. And then that new rep says, thank you so much. First off, here are the ground rules. First rule is, hey, everybody, take out your cell phone, put it on vibrate or turn it off. Second rule is, if you have to use the bathroom, please use it now. And the third rule is that please hold all of your questions to the end. So that new rep, you want to make sure that you say those 3 things and you want to memorize those 3 things. And then that new rep says, okay, I want to introduce someone, and that's when you edify and bring on the speaker. Edify basically means that you're praising that speaker's success, All right, we can go into edification training in a little bit more detail, but basically you're just letting people know that this is someone you have a lot of respect for. They're making a lot of money. They know 100% of the information, and that they love helping people. And then you just go ahead and introduce the person who's going to give the presentation. Now, if you happen to be in a market where maybe there is no leader, maybe you're the only one in that market. I know we have several people out there who got started in other parts of the country. At this point, instead of introducing a speaker, introduce Steve Carter and push play on the DVD. You should have a 1, 2, 3 sets you free DVD with Dwayne Johnson on it. You could have a Steve Carter on the DVD. You could play an online presentation. Regardless of who it is, all right, that's how you deliver your presentation. And then at the end, the speaker or your upline will call into your guests and we'll close out the room for you. So that's how a presentation should go. Keep it under an hour. So again, when you close the room, all right, recognize that there are 3 types of people. Every presentation we talk about the 3 types of people: people who are interested, people who have questions, and people who are not interested. So at the end of the presentation, what should happen is if you have multiple partners in the room, a great thing to do is to announce a 2 to 5 minute break. During that 2 to 5 minute break, the people who are interested, and you're just gonna, every partner is gonna kind of ask people, hey, do you see an opportunity for yourself? At this point, every guest should also get an application in their hand. They should all be encouraged to put their information on the application. Well, what if they're not interested in getting started? Well, you can just say, hey, look, I just want to leave an application with you. If you know of anyone, or maybe you could just make a paper airplane out of it and just, use it for note paper. But you want to leave everyone with an application. Now, if they're interested, but maybe the timing isn't right, you can say, hey, look, well, you're more than welcome to put your information on the application and then just put a date on there when you'd like us to process it. Just put your credit card information on and indicate a date when you'd like to process it. Now, if guess what? Let's just say they are interested in getting ready to get started. You want to immediately say, hey, do you see an opportunity? Would you like to get started now? If they're ready to get started now, you guys, don't delay. Get them in the business. Okay, and so that's what means swatting the room. Swatting the room basically stands for Special Winning Attitude Team. So however many partners are in the room, even if there's 2, or let's just say there's 5 or 6, however many partners there are, you want to find out who's interested. The people who are interested, let them know to stay behind for a quick start. For those who are not interested, you want to guide them to the food and to the door. All right, and you want to do it subtly. You can kind of put your hand on the small of their back and say, thank you for coming out so much tonight. You can ask them to actually become a customer. They can actually do that during the event. But if they're just a negative person, you can just quietly thank them for coming out and escort them to the door. All right. Now, we already kind of spoke about this Special Winning Attitude Team. 1 SWAT leader for every 5 guests. And basically, guess what? You're going to ask everyone, do you see an opportunity? All right. If no, move them to the room with the food. If yes, promote the quick start. And as a result of having a successful PBR, you're going to have 1 of 3 results. You're going to have new partners, new customers, or you'll have some referrals. You'll have people who say, well, it's not for me, but I may know of someone. And the thing is, you want to ask these questions. You want to ask someone, when do they see themselves getting started? You could say, and you could write this down if you're listening in, do you see an opportunity for yourself? If the answer is yes, the next question is, when do you see yourself getting started? Again, do you see an opportunity for yourself? If the answer is yes, when do you see yourself getting started? Okay? If they say now, stop and get them into the business. If you don't know exactly how, immediately call an upline and let's get them into the business. All right. If you say, hey, do you see an opportunity for yourself? If they say no, then thank them for coming, and then ask them, say, well, thank you so much for coming out. And now, is there a reason why you can't become a customer? Because I'm really close to a bonus. Could you please do me a favor, help me out, try a product? You see how that ties in? So again, if they don't see an opportunity, If they say no, not really for me, not my thing, say, okay, great, no problem. Is there a reason why you can't become a customer? And then you can go ahead and guide them to your website. Maybe sit down with them and maybe show them some of your services, or at least schedule an appointment. See that? All right. Or let's just say they see it, but they have questions. That's when you'll bring them to the front of the room to the presenter, or you can three-way your upline, and your upline will talk to your prospect who has questions. Okay. Now, referrals. Now, if no one is interested in being being a partner, and maybe they're a customer, they can always also become a referral. All right. And you could basically say, well, you know what, if you're not interested in this business, that's fine. You know, it's not for everyone. However, is there a reason why you can't refer someone to me who might be interested? Would you happen to know of someone who's looking for an opportunity? That's when you want to hammer down some referrals and get them to introduce to you the person who might be great for your business. All right. So that being said, PBRs create massive momentum, and it's simple to duplicate. All right, very, very simple to duplicate. So that being said, you guys, I'm going to take a quick 2-minute break, maybe a 1-minute break, and we're going to jump into prospecting and close this thing out. So during this 1-minute break, let me go ahead and bring the camera back to me. All right. So during this 1-minute break, I want you guys to take the time to go ahead and ask your questions in the chat room. Perhaps if you're on the call, if you have my number, you can text me the question. Or if you have neither, then just write your question down, because we will have a brief Q&A at the conclusion of this. So what I'm actually doing right now, we're actually going to bring up a quick clip. In this particular clip, give me one moment. This particular clip is just to give you guys the fun side of the business. This is actually what we would consider a lifestyle clip, okay? And this is a lifestyle clip that was actually recorded in New Orleans. I'm sorry, not in New Orleans, in Maryland. Just last weekend during the Super Saturday event. It was recorded by Senior Vice President Flip Jenkins, all right? And this is just an event of him just showing the cars. The reason why this is important is because on our particular team, if you guys haven't noticed already, David Motivator Farrow, yours truly, Ricardo Suber, Jamel Driver, Everton Welsh, Kanisha Avila, what we try to do is to really make sure that you guys understand that social media is very, very important. We're actually going to have a social media training on Tuesday with myself and Mr. David Farrow. But here's the reason why this clip is important, because whenever you're at an event, a BOM, a PBR, even a restaurant, and you happen to pay for something with your 5 Links card, or maybe you see a Bentley, maybe you see a BMW, maybe you're in a suit because you're going to an event. You want to take pictures and post those pictures. You want to take movies, videos with your cell phone, take them of a BMW and a Bentley, maybe interview someone else who's in 5 Links, put that on your Facebook page, because people are watching you. The moment you got started in a network marketing MLM business, people are watching, because so many people don't stick it out. So many people don't have the mindset for it. And many times when they're looking to you, they're hoping that you succeed. They want to see some success before they get started. So the way that you show other people your success is that you want to actually know the stories and have the people who've been successful and relate yourself to them. So let me give you an example. You see a Bentley. You say, wow, that's Thomas Felder's Bentley. Let's say you're at one of his events. These are why BOMs are so important. You're at the BOM with your iPhone, and you're taking pictures with your iPhone. You're taking video, and you see Thomas Felder, and you're narrating to your camera phone saying, ladies and gentlemen, this is Senior Vice President Mr. Thomas Felder. Hey, Thomas, could I ask you a couple of questions? And they'll say, sure, of course. You can say, Thomas, I understand your story. You were a lawyer. What made you get into 5 Links? And you're taping him. And see, now once you upload something like that to social media, now people are correlating you with where you're going to be, and now they can also see themselves being successful. So you want to constantly tell the stories of other people. All right. And you want to use social media to do that. So this is a great example of a clip that I've posted, even though it came from someone else. I've reposted it. And I suggest that you guys do the same. I'm going to be right back in exactly 2 minutes with prospecting training. We're going to close this thing out for questions. So check this out.
Just a little bit of things that we do. We work hard, but we play hard. Marty win. Hey, love, how y'all doing? Says I see all y'all ballers up in the house right now. It's just what we do sometimes, you know. It's a work hard, play hard situation, and everybody out there, you know what I mean. See, what we do is we just simply build a business. We get business partners and we get customers, and by doing that, we create income. And then they give you toys like this to play with, because what'll happen is that once you reach a certain position, now all of a sudden they give you BMWs and Bentleys. So just in case, hey, what's up, Mr. Pharrell?
This thing is for real. 5 Links. Look at all these cars, Bentleys, BMWs. It's not a car lot. This is 5 Links event right here.
There it is.
Get involved. Flip, David Motivated, Tupac, and here.
So, Mr. Curtis?
What's going on, guys? You just heard it. Look, I just recorded a video myself. All I can tell you is this is real. We're all working. We're all doing something. Guys, why not be a part of something like this? Not only is this serious with the vehicles, but it's fun. You got great people, incredible people that you're partnering with every day, making money. Let's get it done, guys.
There it is.
Tell them why you mad, son. Tell them why you mad.
What's up, K-Million Kanye?
What's going on? What's going on?
Say hi to the folks in camera land.
Hi, folks in Cameron. We're having a great time.
Everybody in front of the car.
What's up, Iz?
In front? Everybody outside. What's up?
They're real fly.
Off the driver's side, light, headlight. They can have a couple on either side.
What's up, sir? How you feeling, man?
Hey, beautiful cars.
No doubt, no doubt.
I think my lights come on.
What's up, Les?
What's up, baby?
How you feeling, man?
That's how we get it.
That's how you getting it in, man. I see you got smoked out on the 20s.
5 Links, baby.
There it is. What's up, doctor? All right, we're going to sign off for right now. We're going to bring it back in a second.
All right, you guys, I hope you guys enjoyed that. If you're on the phone, I know you could hear it, but you couldn't see it. But I want to thank you guys for bearing with me because I really had to get something to drink. And I meant some juice, not anything to drink. I'm not getting that crazy. But in any event, you guys, as we bring up the prospecting training and as we begin to close this out with this prospecting training, I want to thank you guys. And I see Liz is on, and Liz just made a comment in the chat room. First off, Liz actually says in the chat room, this has been really informative, just what I needed to hear after having just 19 points in 30 days. Liz, I want to definitely just let you know, first off, that we appreciate you as well and all of our new partners who are watching in, even existing partners, because this is stuff we all need. And the beauty about this business is that we're not hesitant to help anyone out who seeks out help. All right. And I don't even know which team you're on. But Liz, I hope we were of some value to you. And I hope that as you continue to build your business, you teach this downline. And for all of our partners, if you're looking for more trainings like this, and we're still keeping it going, we're actually about to jump into prospecting. But for all of our existing partners, okay, Liz, okay, so you're on Meet Me Up Top. So Liz is in actually an organization under Senior Vice President Mark and Key at Boardley and Eugenio Fernandez and that whole crew over there. So shouts out to you guys. But listen, for anyone, if you're looking to get more trainings, if you're looking to get really good in your business, I can remember I missed my very first national event. I made the ultimate cardinal sin in 5 Links is to miss a national event. I'll never, ever miss another one ever, okay? And the reason why I missed that, well, I'm not even going to get into the reasons, but bottom line is I missed the event. And when I missed it, I remember when Dave was out in San Antonio and Jamel and some of the other now currently NDs. Back then they were EDs and Dave was a new ND. When that happened, I was so sick because I knew, that I was missing the event. And back then, they didn't broadcast the events. And even now, understand that even though they do broadcast some of the nationals, it does not compare. If you've never been to a nationals, do everything that you can to get there. I mean, everything. If you have to take time off of work, if you have to be sick in order to get to nationals, go. Because the thing is, so many times we say we're doing 5 links because we don't want to work for someone. Well, why aren't you at the event? Because I have to work. I'm doing 5 links because I want to make sure that my kids have a better life. Why aren't you at the event? Well, because of my kids. Bring your kids if you need to. If there's no other choice, get a partner to watch them in the back of the room. Wherever there's a will, there's a way. And too many times we get into this business and we treat it like a hobby. And you treat it like a hobby, yet you expect it to pay you $1 million. You have to propel your business. But see, here's what happens. Here's the difference between working hard in 5 links and working hard in your job. When you work hard on your job, you're working hard, but your income basically stays the same. In 5 links, when you start off, if you work hard, if you really put hard work in, when you start it off and you build that momentum, it's going to propel your business. Because here's what happens. You start off with just you. So when you start off, it's going to seem very hard because it's only you. But once you build a team, let's just say you hit ET, you have your first 2 partners. That's great because now you start to see the magic. But let's say once you've introduced those 2, you teach them to do the same thing. Now you have more people on your team. Now you're in ED. You have 7, 20 partners maybe. Now you're approaching ND. As an ND, now you could have 50 partners, 100, maybe 200 partners. You see the magic of this business is in the duplication. So every time a new partner comes in, that's new customers coming in, now you're pulling in all of that income. Now, see, they describe network marketing like this. In the beginning, you can't believe how hard you work for so little pay. But then as you approach ND and especially SVP, you can't believe how much you get paid for how little you do. And so too many of us get into this business. We have a very weak mindset. And so what I suggest to all of us is to get out of the 9-to-5 mindset and really put your head down and make it work, because I'm telling you, it does work. Network marketing produces the most independent millionaires in any other industry. All right. So with that being said, and I could go on a tangent. We could go on this forever. All right. But we're going to go into prospecting. My window froze a little bit. Give me 1 second. I'm actually going to, okay, here we go. So we're going to get into prospecting in a moment. But I hope you guys really received that and understood that, because this training is so important. But what I want all of you guys to do is extend your training. Extend your training. Go through your 5 Links TV. Understand how to access 5 Links TV. If you don't, get with an upline. Have them show you how to access it through your virtual office. All right, and make sure you go through those modules. All right, go through your training modules. Of course, complete your 5 Links University. Really get this thing down and really treat this thing seriously. You know, you see stories like Thomas Felder, who hit senior vice president in 85 days and SVP so quickly. You want to build it right. You want to build it correctly. And the thing is, what I've noticed in individuals like that who built it very fast, they're just willing to do what most of us aren't willing to do. They're willing to go without sleep to build their businesses. But look at his success. Got in the business after I got started and got the Bentley before I did. But that's the power of this, because you can out-earn anybody who puts you in. It's based on what you do. All right? It's definitely based on what you do. So with that being said, in terms of prospecting, all right, now it's finally loaded up. So let's go ahead and bring this down. Let's see. Okay. Prospecting. Give me 1 second. I'm going to scroll down to the correct slide. All right. All right. For everybody who's on the phone, again, we are going through these slides on this website. All right. Give me 1 second. Okay. Prospecting. Now, when you prospect in this business, now prospecting is very important because, again, when you prospect, the very easiest way to think about getting a new business partner on your team, it's almost like you have your own restaurant, but you're opening a new location. Because when you get someone else in your team, that's now someone else that you're also helping achieve their dreams, but yet that's also furthering your dreams as well. So that being said, when you prospect, your very first aspect of prospecting is creating your list. You want to make a list of everyone that you know and understand that your list is your working capital. It should be on paper and print and give people the opportunity to say no. Do not prejudge people when creating your contact list. Those you think will, won't. Those you think won't, will. Those you think can do the business, they can't do it. And those you think that can't, can do the business. All right, so always understand that. And I'm going to use my best friend Phil Walker as an example because he does not mind me using him as an example. Okay, I wouldn't do this with anyone else, but Phil and I are like brothers, so we're cool. When I first got into 5 Links, I didn't think Phil would do it. I knew he wouldn't do it because Phil and I have known each other for over 10 years, and he was someone who had been burned from businesses in the past. We had another mutual friend who had all these wacky business ideas, and Phil got suckered into a couple of them. So when I got into 5 Links, my very first inclination was not to tell Phil because Phil would be a dream stealer. But you know what? I followed the system because I said, well, you know what? I'll just give it a shot. Maybe he'll say no. Maybe he'll be a customer. And lo and behold, he joined the business. He was one of my first business partners, okay? So again, don't prejudge, just follow the system. All right? Now, think about this. Who do you know who has good work ethic? Who is hungry? Who has a high level of integrity? And who has personal power? Okay? Now, they call this WHIP. Work ethic, hungry, has high integrity, and has personal power. Those are the sorts of people that you want on your team in this business, okay? So when you pique interest in 5 Links, when piquing interest, your goal is to get a yes. You don't want to explain the opportunity. That is an amateur, probably one of the most common mistakes in this industry, not only in this business, is when you see someone who might potentially be interested in 5 Links, you go off throwing up 5 Links all over them. We do phones, we do internet, we do TV, we do healthcare. No, you don't want to do that. You don't want to do that. Your goal is to simply get a yes and just to get them curious, okay? Now, the less you say, the more success you will have, and your excitement and enthusiasm are more important than your knowledge of the business. And we're going to go through some samples in a moment of how you would pique interest, okay? And actually, we're doing that now. So you see some examples here. It says, hi, prospect's name. Are you open to making additional income above your current career? All right. You also have, do you keep your business options open for multiple streams of income? And then you also have, if I could show you how to make money every time someone pays a bill, would that interest you? All right. Period. You don't want to go into all of this extra stuff because when you do that, you guys, people get turned off and they feel like they've heard and seen all the information. You're now deviating from the system, and that's what you don't want to do, especially if you're new in 5 Links, okay? So your main thing is just to pique their interest, just to get them curious, okay? So now we're going to kind of talk about our conversation, okay? Now, wherever you are right now, say this to yourself. Conversation. Conversation. Okay. So when you're having conversation with someone, you're going to first off invite people, all right? All right, and when you invite people for your PBR or invite them to watch a webinar, this is all an aspect of inviting. So in conversation, how do you guys have most of your conversations? Well, first off, you usually start off talking about family or how they're doing. So you could say, hey, Bob, man, how's everything going? He's like, oh, man, everything's great, you know, just spending time with the family. Or you might even say, how's the family? We have this acronym called FORM, where we have family, occupation, recreation, and money. So the first thing, let's just say we're asking how the family's doing. How's the sister doing? How's the nieces and nephews? Then the next question might be, so, by the way, how's the job? Now, a lot of times when you ask how the family is, sometimes people might say, man, I wish I had more time with family. You know, that's already a potential, I don't know, an in to your business, but you don't want to just, again, throw in 5 links or throw up 5 links. But ask people how their family's doing. Then you could say, oh, so how's the job? How are things at work? They're like, man, I got to go to work tomorrow. Today's Sunday. Man, I'm not looking forward to that. All right. Or even if they're telling you how great their job is or about how they just got their promotion, then the next subject might be, okay, well, you know, it's summertime. It's about to get really hot in this area. What are you planning to do this summer? Or they might be a teacher. Hey, you got a few months off. What do you plan to do with yourself? And then the last question might be money. It might be, you know, so listen, you know what? I recently took a look at something. And that's when you might say, well, look, I know you might have said, like, let's just say they said, you know what? I really wish I could spend more time with family. You could say, well, hey, look, you know, I recently took a look at something, and I think it might allow you to actually generate some income at home without you having to put in so many extra hours. You know, they might say, oh, well, what is it? That next question would be, when can I get 30 seconds? When can I have 30 seconds? Your goal right now is to get an appointment. All right? We actually have Senior Vice President Mr. Jovids Moncure. He was actually out here where I'm at in the Poughkeepsie, New York area. And he actually said he uses a method called the magic of 2, which basically means set 2 appointments every single day. You want to write that down. Set 2 appointments every day. And the way to set an appointment, have a regular conversation with someone. You pique them using a script saying, hey, you know what? I think I know of a way for you to make some extra money. Or I think I know of a way where you can possibly spend more time with family. Whatever is short in their life. That's why you want to have conversation with them. Whatever they need help with, you always want to think, what possibly can I help them out with? And then that's when you want to sprinkle little 5 links on it. All right? So with that being said, now, when you invite them, again, you want to invite them to an opportunity overview. All right? So that could be any one of our peak calls. You guys should have on speed dial any one of the 3-minute peak calls. All right. Now, if anybody's in the chat room, if you're able to put up the peak call numbers, then I'll go ahead and announce them on the air. It's actually difficult for me to play with my phone and be on this as well. All right. But if you have the peak call numbers, Lisa Cloud has a peak call number. Steve Carter has a peak call number. Dwayne Johnson has a peak call number. And Jason Guck, one of our co-founders, has a peak call number. Okay. So make sure you put that up. Make sure you bring that up as soon as they indicate they have 30 seconds. When can I get some time with you? When will you have 30 seconds on your hands? Or did I catch you with 30 seconds on your hands? If they're busy, if they're on the run, exchange numbers and keep it moving. Let's say you meet someone on the street. A lot of people say, well, isn't that cold marketing? Well, yeah, well, not really. Because if you meet someone, now they're warm market. Bottom line is, when you meet someone, say, hey, look, you know what? I really like those shoes, and I've done this. All right, I might say to a lady, and maybe just to kind of keep the. Now this is just kind of another subject area. I'm also a relationship coach, so I have a little bit of expertise in this area. But let's just say you're a guy listening in. And let's say you see a young lady walking down the street, and you want to potentially get her into your business. A great approach to do it, and also not make her think that you want something else, if you know what I mean, you might want to say to that young lady, you know what, I really like those shoes. You know, that my wife or my girlfriend or my sister would really like those shoes, you know, and she might say, oh, thank you. You can say, where did you get them? And she might say, oh, well, I got them at Macy's or whatever. I got them at Nordstrom. Or wherever you ladies get your shoes from. And the bottom line is, you could say, well, thank you so much. Hey, listen, I got to run. But, however, you know what? You remind me a lot of the ladies I'm also in business with. You're really sharp. And whenever I see someone as sharp as you, I feel compelled to actually let them know what we're doing. Now, my business is actually expanding in the area. I'd love to talk to you about it. But you think we can exchange some information? Or do you have a card? That's a great question. And as you're asking her for her card, start to find yours. And you only want to give your card if you're getting one in exchange. A lot of times, if you ask someone for a card and they don't have it, they're going to give you their phone number or their email. An email is fine. Your main thing is just to exchange a phone number or an email, and then keep it moving. And then when you finally get them on the phone, that's when you peak them, that's when you do form, and that's when you get them on a 3-minute call. You don't want to go ahead and explain 5 links. Let 5 links do the explanations for you, okay? So that being said, all right, and you can also leave a DVD with them. If you happen to have the 1, 2, 3 Sets You Free DVD, then you want to go ahead and leave a DVD with them, all right? Or you can also have a live 3-way call with your upline leader. Now, you also want to use urgency and realize that there are people in your warm market that we call them just because, all right? Like, we refer to these people as just becauses. All right, because everybody knows at least one person that will enroll in 5 links just because that they're in. So with those people, you want to say, hey, look, you need to get into this. Let's run. Let's get into this business. Let's go. All right, because all of us, we have blues. We have people who look up to us, and we want to enroll them as soon as possible, okay? Now, it's all about duplication. It's all about the briefing, the PBR, a DVD, website, and conference calls. You want to make sure that you and then eventually your team, they're plugged into everything that the entire team is doing. All right, so a briefing, that might be a PBR, that might be a BOM. All right, the PBRs, of course, those are, of course, your private business receptions. Those are being held in your home at least on a weekly basis. You also have your DVD. Okay, so let's just say you're in a market, or even me. I'll give you an example. From time to time, I'll be at home, or let's say I'll have a visitor, a cousin might come, or I have a friend stop by. If they don't know anything about 5 links, I'll get into a conversation with them, and let's just say they have, they're not doing anything. I'll pop in the DVD. I'll pop in the DVD because every day my goal is to get at least 5 to 10 people in front of the presentation and to set at least 2 appointments per day where someone can either become a partner or a customer. So make that your goal, all right? So with that being, and we also have conference calls, and we have the website where you can view the presentation as well. In summary, you want to share this opportunity with everyone you come into contact with. And the way you do that is you just want to exchange info. You want to get good at establishing relationships, not throwing up 5 links, not feeling like you have a gun to your head and you're trying to just unload. You just want to get good in establishing relationships. And remember that the law of large numbers will never fail you. Remember this: some will, and some will, okay? Some will, and some will. Some people are going to say that's a scam, I'm not doing a pyramid, I'm closed-minded, and I want to stay broke. Because that's really what they're saying if they're closed-minded and they don't want to listen to what you say. And so how do you take that? You say to yourself, well, no problem, thank you so much. And usually your candor, the way that you deal with people, if they act like that, they'll probably be more likely to say, well, you know what? Tell me a little bit about it. And then that's when you put them on a 3-minute call. All right? Now, again, and just to review the 3-minute calls, thank you so much, everybody in the room. For everybody who's listening on the phone, I want you to write this down. Thank you so much, David Roberts and Liz, also for really coming through on the chat calls. All right, now and even before I say this, that's a sign of a leader. A leader is someone who's going to step up when called, and even when they're not called. A leader is someone who on the conference call, they're going to speak up and just say, you know what, I just wanted to say hello, I'm playing team. A leader is someone who steps up and says, we're going to do a PBR. They're not going to wait to be told to do it. They'll step up and do it. A leader is someone who's going to take the initiative and get it done. They're not waiting. They take the initiative to set standards for their new team. They take the initiative to get the job done. And so I want to praise David and Liz and Nisha also on the chat room, everybody who's stepping up and doing what a leader is supposed to do. Now, the Steve Carter peak call number for everybody who's listening in is 888-488-2584. It's 888-488-2584. The Lisa Cloud peak call number is 518-530-1663. Again, 518-530-1663. And then also, for those of you who may know of folks who speak Spanish, we have a Spanish Pete call number as well. It's at 585-444-5650. Again, 585-444-5650. And if you have any Spanish-speaking reps or potential reps, there's two sources where you can point them to a full presentation. You can actually point them to www.5linkshispano.com. So that's 5 links, that's 5 LINX, Hispano, which is spelled HISPANO.com, 5linkshispano.com. Or they can actually find a presentation if they search through the videos. If they go to youtube.com/getofftheratwheel, again, youtube.com/getofftheratwheel, they'll actually be able to find a Spanish presentation, and then it also includes the slides. It's pretty up to date. All right, so with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, what I want to do, I'm going to open up the lines, and even before I open up the line, I'm going to bring back on a gentleman I have a whole lot of respect for. Again, and that's if he's still on the line. This is, again, our Senior Vice President, Mr. David the Motivator Farrell. If you're still on the line, push *6. If you're still awake, push *6. All right. Well, I don't know if David is still on the line or not, but this is what I'm going to do. We'll go ahead and we'll now kind of open it up for a Q&A. Any question, I don't care if it's on customer acquisition, prospecting, PBRs, anything in between. I want anybody who's on the line, feel free to either ask your question in the chat room, or if you're on the call, push *6 and ask your question.
Rico, can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear. Okay, go for it.
I kind of muted my line up by a minute ago, so I don't know if you just open it up because got called back in. I was listening to it online. What I did want to say is that you did a great job spending the last 2 hours of your time. Give me it all. You know, we have close to 20 people on the line. We also have close to 20 people on the webinar itself. So you definitely know that your work, your effort is definitely appreciated by not only me, but the team. I've been watching the whole thing, checking it out, where you brought in the videos. So we're definitely appreciative of you. We're definitely looking forward to adding this webinar and this supersonic kind of training to the platform more often. So I guess team, as you said, if you guys have any questions right now, I guess, or comments, or if you think we should continue these webinars more often, press *6 and let us know. Or even if you want to just let us know who you are on this call, just press *6. Or any of you online and you're part of the chat room, just type in what you want to say. So we're gonna be looking at. So if you're on the line, press *6 right now. What do we have? Who's that?
Hello, can you hear me?
Hello? Yes, we can hear you. Who do we have on the line?
Elizabeth Obi.
Elizabeth, nice to meet you.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we hear you loud and clear.
Okay, thank you very much for the, I'm on the phone and I couldn't see all of those that was being shown, but I could hear all of that was being said. Thank you very much, for the effort that's put into this. We really appreciate it.
No problem. Who's the organization that you're in?
Elizabeth Obi, which is Obi. Obi. Organization.
Yeah.
David.
Okay. Let me know what's going on. We got a lot of things that we're working on, so let's okay.
Yes, I need to hear again the peak call number for Mr. Carter. I know
it's 888-488-2584. That's 888-488-2594.
Okay, 94. Thank you very much.
Yeah, and Miss Opie, if you don't have it, if you need it again, if you can't find it, just give me a call anytime, okay?
Okay, then. Thank you very much.
Okay. Rico, David Roberts asked, was this recorded? Can you answer that?
The answer, I have to keep adjusting the levels because I'm a little loud and yeah. Okay, so the answer is hopefully. The technology isn't perfect, and I'm using a lot of bandwidth. So hopefully it is. The audio is not recorded. The video might be. So if you see, put it like this for everybody who, if you need the spelling of my name, or as a matter of fact, if it is recorded, then we'll go ahead and text blast the link. Probably in the next hour or so. So I'll know once I stop the transmission.
Okay, perfect. I see you have some other people. Nisha, I don't know. Rico, is that Nisha from our team? I'm not sure who that is. If you hear us, so I'm not sure who Nisha is. Is that Tanisha?
Yeah, I believe that. Yeah, I believe that might be Shanisha on Mr. Kerry Fletcher's team. Kerry Fletcher and Nate Freeman.
Yeah.
I believe it is.
Tanisha, if that's you, let us know. And if you're asking if you have a account and if you post on PBR trainings, I know Rico has worked on it. We're just trying. We have the platform to do it, but I guess it takes a lot of other people's personal initiative and putting it and doing it together and keeping it informed. But we have the platform, so if you run with, if you speak to Rico, he'll be able to get you that information. Okay. So also we have to Liz, how do you get over the fear of rejection when explaining the business? Do you wanna answer that one, Rico? And I'll answer my part.
Sure. So that's a great question. See, 1 second. So the best way to get over the fear of rejection is, I mean, there's a great book, and Dave Farrell is the master of books. Dave Farrell has probably read more books in a year than most of us have ever read. So, and the quick story behind that is when I first met Dave, I remember going to your place when you were somewhere on Flatbush, and man, his book collection is serious. He had all kinds of books on self-improvement, and there's one particular book that's called Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway. And that's simply the mindset that you want to have. You can feel the fear, and that's why it's so important to start warm market. You know what I mean? And the best way to do it is to not even put yourself in the position where you feel like you're going to get rejected. You just need to understand that some will do the business. Just want to go through the numbers. You want to help people understand that this is something that's very important to you. But if someone doesn't want to do the business, realize that that's no reflection on you. If someone doesn't want to be a customer for whatever reason, that's no reflection on you. And the best way to really get over it is just to stay plugged into trainings like this and keep your support system alive, because I promise the moment you don't stay plugged in, and if you start to fall back, you're not doing your trainings, you're just not getting on the conference calls, that's when you start to really get fearful. So, Dave, you want to add anything to that?
Pretty much how to get over the fear of rejection is of course, by practicing, practicing on your scripts, some of the scripts, some of the things they're going to say. And I understand that, listen, people are going to say no, they're going to reject you. The funniest thing in the world is that I still get, as a senior vice president, I just posted up yesterday, I still get rejected all the time. I still get people that you would think as a senior vice president documented in this company, got the BMW, that I won't still get rejected by people. I get rejected. They say no, and they confident, and they at times confidently say no to me, Like, David, I am not doing this. So, David, I'm not convinced that this thing will work. When I was driving a Red Impala before I was driving this brand new BMW. So, what I can say, when it comes to feeling the fear of rejection, you gotta keep going. You're gonna get rejected over and over again. Just being able to keep going with those rejections, or even how they say, go from failure to failure without losing enthusiasm. This business, it can get tough. Trust me. I know what it feels like to be in the NFL zone, which is a no friends left zone. The family, nobody. I talked to my brother today. I was like, listen, I have a free IMR. You want to join my business? No. I don't care for it. Don't get it. I get rejected. My brothers reject me all the time. And they have no money. Les Brown, his brothers have never actually seen any. His siblings have never seen his presentation, read his books, or went to the seminar. So if your own family's gonna reject you, so don't worry. Don't worry about it. I would just say keep going positive and keep growing, and you'll have no problem in this business. Okay. So I know that was a webinar question. Do we have anybody? Do we have anybody on the phone? Actually, I had a question. Answer some of the webinar questions. We're still doing one to the webinar. Star 6. Who do we have on the line?
Hey, baby, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Who you got speaking?
This is Tanea. How are you?
Hey, today, how you doing? Great.
Hey, I'm great. I have a quick question that was actually brought to me by someone on my team. When you're in places like crowded places, let's say train stations, the bus, or whatever, and you see so many different people, and I heard in a training that everybody that you see is potentially a prospect. How do you narrow it down, or how do you know who to approach, or how do you know when the moment is right? Because I feel like we're surrounded by so many people at one time, and you see so many people. How do you know exactly who to approach?
Okay, I'll answer that, and Rico can add to it. What I can tell you in general when it comes to, I guess, just being an area, it's just about being social. Rico kind of touched on it. It's just by, don't approach them about 5 minutes from the beginning. Speak about conversation, have a conversation with them. Like yesterday, I was getting a rental car in South Carolina. I was just having a conversation. She seen my pen, and I was like, oh. I said, what's that pen? Boom. And then I started having a conversation about that. 5 links, okay. Now, sometimes if you're just talking to them, as Rico had alluded to before, you can't always get into the form, but you can just get in a conversation. Because what you want to do is build a relationship. You don't want to just be throwing up 5 links. Some people train that way of just the 3 feet rule. I don't personally use it like that because I'm more of an online guy. I can meet more people online than I can be in person. But I would just say build a conversation, build a rapport with them, and then bring it into the conversation like it was naturally going through. Like it's like, oh, you heading to work? Oh man, they'd be like, yeah, stressfully. They're like, oh wow, I got something that can help you then. And then they'll be like, oh really? What is it? 5? And then you can find different ways to introduce your 5 links in the conversation. But in general, you want to bring up. You always want to speak to them, and you always want to speak to them on their level, and then also always have your card or a P card available to give it to them. And then that way, you as Rico had alluded to earlier, you can try to get their information, and you give them your information. That way, you could keep that conversation going. And what I can tell you in general, what you want to do also, if you want to start meeting other people, start going to Kiwanis and Chamber of Commerce's and meetups and different kind of meetings where people are there to meet. So now you can talk to people and network and brand yourself. So, and that's the biggest thing, branding yourself. That's a whole different topic. But I hope that Rico, you want to add something to that?
Yeah, just very briefly, that was a great question, Tanea. And just very briefly, I put up a graphic in the webinar for those of you guys who are watching. But Tanea, always think in your head a picture of a baseball diamond, of our baseball diamond that we have in the game plan. And that baseball diamond is so important because you have to realize that until people look at a tool, they're in the peak interest phase. So that's like the very first phase. So as you're part of peaking interest is building that relationship. So that main thing is just building a relationship, almost like a friendship, all right, where you get to know that person. So if you're meeting someone in their cold market, the best way to get them warm is to just at least be an acquaintance, be someone, find some commonalities, find out who they are, just be good at making friends. And then once you've made a friend, now you can find out what's hurting them. You can find out their why. Their why is what's hurting you. All right, that's a good acronym. What's hurting you? And so when you're engaging in conversation, you're going to pick up little clues. You're going to get to know who they are. And then once you find out who they are and what's hurting them, now you can kind of use that to pique interest and give them a tool. So the best, I guess the easiest and most simple way to answer that is just to be good at making friends with new people.
Okay, awesome. I have one more question, David. I had a PBR recently, and I just want to make sure that me and my executive director answered the question correctly from a prospect who was there. He was a realtor, and he stated that he knew several people who were in 5 Links, and I guess he was saying like the majority of them weren't doing well, which was fine. But what he was saying was that he knew one person. He was basically saying that, you know, he felt like, especially in watching the lifestyle and stuff like that, that we basically were showing him the people at the top and not showing him, you know, people who were actually going through the actual struggle and getting there. And he personally knew someone who he said was going really hard in the business, and he felt like he couldn't understand why she wasn't moving in it. So I would just like to give you what we told him, and just to make sure that that was correct, because I felt like the way we answered it, you know, to me, I felt like it was correct, but I just want to be sure, because that's not the first time someone has approached me with that situation. So I basically told him that there's a system that we follow, which was the same thing my EZ was explaining to him. The system that we follow is if you follow it to the T, there's no reason why you shouldn't be successful. Maybe there's some things, maybe she is going hard, but not going hard the correct way. She may be, you know, you may see her giving 100%, but she may not be following the system. And then I brought up your story where he said, you know, we see all of these people at the top, and how long have they been in the business, and this, that, and such. You know, I had to tell him, my senior vice president is from Brooklyn, he's 29, so I guess he'll be there Thursday, because he really didn't look like he believed that. So I just want to know, was that the correct way to answer that question?
I'll take it to now, Rico, and then you can answer that. First of all, great job on doing the PBR. Secondly, what I can tell you in general, like, especially since you're on our organization, and some of the people here on our organization, you need help to do this also. But what we could do is, like, I could close the room for you and then answer those same kind of questions. That's what, so that when they ask the question, I can let them know. That way, once I'm edified, because I can always answer the question and let them explain it to them. Like you said, you only see people on the top. It's almost like saying, you know, it's almost like saying only 1% of people make it to the NBA. The NBA must be rigged, or 1% of athletes ever make it professional. 1% of models ever actually making any money from there. So a lot of times people are not using their sense, they're not understanding. And what I can say about Providence is that it gives everybody equal opportunity. 2 years ago, me and Rico was in Starbucks together, and now I'm senior vice president, right? So now Rico is Rico's on the cusp of being senior vice president himself. So it's possible. The thing about it is that people don't understand. In general, it's a 3 to 5 year deal, you know? 3 to 5 year deal. That it's going to change your life. So if you're not committed to 3 to 5 years, then you're not going to win. As Steve Carter said, you can only you can win or quit. You can't lose. Because if you just keep going, you win. Some people have hit senior vice president 85 days, and some people have hit 8 years. You know? But the thing about it, they made it there. So those people that say nobody can get to the top, nobody can make it there. The thing about it is that people have opinions. A lot of times they just want to see the success. Tell them my story. Be like, listen, let me get you on the line. That you already know I'm very successful. Anytime you call me today, I'll pick up. You know, like, let me get you on the line, my senior vice president. He'll answer that question. He'll let you know how it feels to come from Brooklyn and be able to hit to that top level, you know? But people always may have their opinion. Don't even worry about that. But what I would say is try to utilize your uplines, being Rico, even, I know Jamel, and help you close the rooms. You know, even if we're not taking one person to be served. We have Dwayne Johnson that does a lot of that, you know? So what I can say, that was a great answer. You gave me a great answer, but listen, if you sound like one of those people that's just negative, and sometimes you can't get that negative stigma out of people. You gotta leave them alone and work with the people who really seem excited. A lot of time what happens to people, because they think they want that person in business, they want to keep. talking to them or trying to convince them. We're not in the business of convincing them. They see the opportunity, cool. If they don't, self-support you there. If they say you can't get to the top, that's how you get them right there. Like, okay, listen, I need help to get to the top. Can you support me? And you'd be surprised. Either they support you or not support you. And you see, I can't win without supporting. And then, of course, we all know people that haven't made it in 5 links, you know? It's just business. Not everybody's gonna make it. Everybody has the opportunity to make it, but not everybody's gonna make it. Network marketing in general has a quick track record of people quitting. People are professional quitters, you know. So not to take to the top. Rico, you want to add to that?
You summed all that up beautifully, man. I really don't have anything else to add. That was to the T. That was on point.
Okay, perfect. Okay, I know we're keeping a lot of people on the time. I know we'll maybe get two more questions, and we have the team power call tonight. We appreciate everybody for getting on. Any other questions in the room, or you have any other questions out there? Press star 6 to unmute your line. Okay, I guess not, Rico. So, any final words, Rico?
Yeah, just basically, you guys, we're real proud of you guys. And there's basically something that Jovens had actually shared with me. One of the senior vice presidents in our upline, Mr. Jovens Mirancure, had shared with me, and I'm actually reading this on my phone because I took some quick notes. But I want everybody to write this down as we close out. And I want you to write this down because these are questions that you want to answer for yourself. And these are questions that as you're prospecting folks and as you're kind of getting them into your web, so to speak, you want to find this out from them. Okay, but first off, you want to make sure you can answer these on your own. Especially if you're at a position where you feel like you can be doing better, maybe you're brand new, here are the questions that you want to ask. All right, now write these down. The first question is, what do I want? Okay, what do I want? That's number one. Number two is, why do I want it? Why do I want it? That's number two. Number three is, why don't I have it? Okay? Why don't I have it? That's number three. Number four is, who's responsible for it? Okay? Again, number four is, who's responsible for it? All right? Number five, all right, is, if there was a way for me to find out how to get it, how would I feel? Or, of course, when you're talking to someone, you'd say, if there was a way for me to show you how to get it, how would you feel about it? Okay? Or if you knew about a new way to get it, how would you feel about it? And then the last question is, when do I want it? Or when do you want it? Okay, so again, number one, what do I want? Why do I want it? Why don't I have it? Who's responsible for it? And if there was a way for me to get it, how would I feel about it? And then last question is, when do I want it? And the main question, I believe, in there is, who's responsible for it? I think we all need to kind of take a look in the mirror and really figure out, if we don't have what we want, what can we start to do today that's going to actually change our habits and put us in the direction that we want to get into? So that's what I want to end on, and I'll pass it back to you, Dave, to go ahead and close this out.
Okay, so again, I want to let everybody know today is the last day for $800 to $3,000 quick start. If you guys know anything about promos, they're not going to have any promo. They're not going to have any good promos now to regional, and they'll put another good set of promos for regionals like for a week or two. Then August is going to be low. So you guys are going to take advantage of the $800 to $3,000 quick start. Also, it's the last day to close out existing rep bonuses and a day to enroll your free IMR for national. So listen, if you're part of the team and don't know anybody that has a free listen, team, you got a free IMR, just give it to somebody. Like, put yourself back in as a business. Do something. Don't let it just go to waste. It's like wasting money. So don't let that go to waste. So any other questions, team, add me on Facebook, facebook.com/MakeLifeEpic or David Motivator Farrell. We have, you can text Motivator to 55469. Rico, want to leave your contacts for everybody?
Absolutely, sure. You can reach me, of course. If you go on Facebook and just search for Ricardo Suber, you can find me. Facebook.com/Ricardo Suber. All right. And as a matter of fact, I'll share my screen. Facebook.com/Ricardo Suber. You can also reach, we have a lot of great videos on YouTube. So if you happen to be on another team or even on our team, and you want to share some of the success, some of the documentation, the news reports, the Spanish presentation, the English presentation, go to youtube.com/GetOffTheRatWheel. All right. And you want to really, really make sure that you have enough faith in your business. And of course, new reps, you know where to go. newrepvideo.com, wgigameplan.com, and I'll even keep this up so you guys can write all this stuff down. And of course, 123setsyoufree.com for the presentation. All right. So that's it for me.
Yeah, you guys been. What I can say, you guys have been great. We appreciate each and every one of you. Let us know what the feedback, the text, in the room, in the chat, whatever you think about these. If we keep these things going weekly, and now I wouldn't say weekly, the whole thing, but we're gonna do a quick start. Maybe if this quick start online is worthy, and we'll just see what we can do. So appreciate each and every one of you guys. So I guess the call is officially ended. Stay tuned. You're gonna get a text for the Tupac call happening later, and see you on the beaches of the world. It's not the bank. You guys have a good night.
All right. Good night.